Hello, everyone. Welcome. And today we're talking about the secret to business growth. Automate, free up your time. Do you ever feel like you are drowning in endless tasks, working round the clock, yet your business just isn't scaling the way you imagine? What if I told you that the secret to massive growth and financial freedom isn't about working harder? It's about working smarter. And I'm sure you've heard that before, but working smarter through automation. So, in this video, I'm going to be revealing the exact automation strategies that my clients use to create scalable, predictable income streams while working less. So by the end of this video, you'll know how to systemize your business so it practically runs itself. Of course, there's going to be some things, but a lot of it can be run through automation. So that can give you the freedom to really live your life on your terms. And I'm Heather Blaze, in case you didn't know, and I am an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur since 1996, helping business owners succeed since 1996. And I help ambitious coaches, consultants, and experts like you build streamlined, automated businesses that bring in high ticket clients effortlessly. Of course, there's a lot of work that goes into it in the beginning, but once it's all set up, it really is effortless. It's rinse and repeat. And my clients go from being overwhelmed and overworked to having systems that work for them 24/7, generating predictable revenue and giving them time and money freedom. And I've personally helped entrepreneurs break free from the constant grind and scale to six figures and beyond that without burning out. And today, I'm going to show you how to do the same. So, here's what we're going to cover today. First, we're going to cover why automation is the key to scaling without stress. The second thing is the number one tool to automate your business and free up your time. Then, we're going to go into step by step how to set up an automation system that brings in leads, not just any leads, but high quality leads and clients on autopilot. And then a hidden mistake that's really probably killing your productivity and how to fix it. Okay, so stay with me until the end because I'm also going to share a bonus strategy that one of my clients used to add an extra 30,000 to their business in just 60 days without working harder. So let's dive into it. Why automation is the key to scaling without stress. So right now, you're likely doing too many things manually in your business. Responding to leads, probably booking calls, following up with clients, sending invoices, handling marketing, like the list can go on and on. Um, but think of your business like a high performance car. So if you're still pushing it up the road manually instead of using the engine automation, then you're wasting energy, you're wasting time, you're wasting momentum, and time is money, right? If you know how to, if you've got all this time, to really focus on what brings in the money, ultimately, right? It's costing you money to not know these things. So automation allows you to shift into that high gear, letting systems handle the repetitive tasks so that you can really focus on high value activities like closing deals and serving your clients. When you automate, you free up hours of your time every single week. So, no more manually sending emails, following up with leads, or booking appointments. Automation handles those tasks so that you can focus on the revenue generating activities, the most important thing. So, no more busy work. It also reduces human error and missed opportunities. Manual processes can lead to forgotten follow-ups, lost leads, inconsistent communication, where automation ensures that every single lead is nurtured. It's creating that know, like, and trust factor on autopilot. And that every lead is followed up on, right? With that perfect timing. And then creating a predictable system that brings in revenue consistently, right? Instead of relying on sporadic efforts, automation creates that streamlined process that generates leads, again, nurtures them, and then can also do all the heavy lifting to convert them into high paying clients. And if it's done properly, if it's set up properly, It can bring a total stranger into a paying client in 24 to 48 hours, and it can be running 24/7. So, if you're marketing to around the world, you can be making sales while you're sleeping, or getting calls booked while you're sleeping, right? Another thing automation or another reason why automation is key is it increases your ability to scale without hiring a huge team, right? Most entrepreneurs think that scaling means hiring more people, but automation allows you to grow exponentially without massive payroll expenses. Like you could seriously hit, I would say, $100,000 a month as a solopreneur if you've got the right systems in place. If you want to go beyond that, you're probably going to need some more, done for you experiences, and then you're going to need to delegate some tasks too, implement the delivery of things, and customer relations, things like that. So if you're stuck, right, if you're stuck doing everything yourself, you're actually slowing your own growth. People think of it differently. People think of it the other way. They're like, I'm going to do everything myself to save money, but it actually costs you more. It's one of the most expensive mistakes that people make, but because they've been programmed to be employees or be workers, like our society teaches us this, right? We're always in this scarcity mode or trading time for money type thing, which I'm going to dive into a little bit more later. But it's like we've been programmed this our whole lives. Our television, our friends, our family, our teachers, our parents, everybody thinks this way. So I always get on the phone with people and I'm like, well, if you think of it the other way, and they're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But nobody thinks that way, right? It's the reverse. So the fastest way to scale is to replace manual efforts with smart automation. And I know a lot of people are out there like researching, trying to figure out like what is that automation? What are the tools? What are the platforms? How do we set it all up? Stuff like that. There's a lot that goes into it, but again, I'm going to dive into that today too. So, anyway, the number one tool I think that I found so far to automate your business is called Go High Level, or it's called High Level, Go High Level, GHL. Um, I don't know. It's high level, I guess. And then people call it Go High Level. Anyway. So if you're wondering, but what do I actually use to automate all this stuff, right? Let me introduce you to High Level. So this is the single most powerful tool that I've found for automating everything from lead generation to client onboarding and everything in between. So High Level combines your CRM, which is your customer relations management tool, I believe is what it stands for, CRM. It keeps track of all your leads, right? So when did they come in? What did they watch? How long did they watch it for? What have they paid? How much have they paid? When did they pay? What emails have they seen? What texts have they seen and replied to? Like it tracks absolutely everything along their journey, right? Have they watched the video? Have they booked a call? All of it. It tracks every single communication, customer relations, interaction throughout the whole life of the client, right? From the time that they find you and enroll with you, or like find you and start conversations with you as a lead to becoming a client. And it's all the communications in one place. Basically, it's amazing, and you need to know these things, right? If you need it to stay organized and to stay on top of things. It also combines the automated email and social media, or not social media. Well, it does do social media too. Automated email and text marketing, SMS marketing, right? So again, there's strategies to lead people to book calls, to book appointments, right? From the time a stranger finds you, you got to create that know, like, and trust factor, and then they sign on with you, and you got to let them know, like, what do you even do, right? Like there's so much that goes into it. So it allows you to automate those emails that do that, and also the text messaging to lead them onto a call. So it follows up with the leads automatically without even having to lift a finger, which is really cool. And then appointment scheduling too. No more doing back and forth emails, back and forth texts, anything like that. You can also use appointment setting bots that you can plug in there, that are very conversational, very realistic. You can train them to be it's incredible. Like, I'm just blown away with the AI bots right now. But even without that, right? You can just have it all automated, so it just, again, leads them into booking a call with you, get them on your calendar so that you can enroll them into whatever you're offering, right? And then there's the sales pipelines, right? That path that you lead them down. So just organizing and tracking every stage of the client journey. Then there's the website builder, there's the funnel builder. You can create landing pages that convert these leads into clients on autopilot. And then once they're with you, like, how do you deliver what you deliver? Again, automating as much as of the business processes that you can. Every business is a little bit different. You can't automate everything in every business. Most businesses need some sort of customization, but having a membership and course platform to monetize your expertise with an automated course system, it's all in there as well. So instead of juggling like 5 plus, 10, 15 plus different software tools, High Level brings everything into one seamless system that works for you 24/7. And hey, I don't have any affiliate link or anything for High Level. I'm not getting sponsored or paid by High Level. I just really genuinely love it for myself. I built it out for my clients so we can just, get them in, get them started, getting them going right away so it doesn't take them months or years sometimes, for especially the ones that aren't very tech savvy, to build it up. Even when you are tech savvy, it takes a lot of time. So I was just like, let's save them time. Let's get them clients right away, finding them, calling them and paying them. How do we do that as quickly as possible? Well, and without exhausting them and overwhelming them. So we built out the system for them and we just plug them in. So they've got it set up. They just have to edit a few things, add their domain, add their calendar, turn it on basically. So it gets going. Another thing is the step-by-step on like how to set up an automated system that brings in the leads and clients on autopilot, right? This is the other thing I wanted to talk to you about today. So, how do you set it up? And so setting up High Level, or setting up your system inside of High Level, right? Number one is you want to lead capture. You want to capture the leads automatically. So by creating a simple landing page with a freebie offer, I call it a valuable free offer because it needs to be valuable. A lot of people call it, VSL, lead magnet. There's all these different things, right? Um, and a lot of people think, oh, I'm just going to put together a quiz, or I'm going to put together a checklist, or I'm going to put something like that's so valuable for people. But it's not. It's really like it needs to be worded in a specific way. And this is something that I help my clients figure out and put together, that's really going to attract those ready to buy clients. But using High Level, again, I've already templated out. We've tested with thousands of businesses, a high converting landing page, the fonts, the colors, the layout, exactly how it is, that we know works. So anyway, using High Level, you can build out a template, or you can build out your own landing page. You can build out whatever you want to deliver, and you can house it there. You can have, set up an opt-in form that just adds leads directly into your CRM, which makes it really, really simple. For some people, some of you might be like, what is she talking about? But yeah, I know a lot of people, about 60% of my clients that show up, they're like, I'm not tech savvy. I don't understand this tech stuff. And maybe 40% are pretty good with it. But even still, there's a lot that goes into it, right? Like, how do you create that opt-in? How do you connect it to the landing page? How do you, run ads and drive traffic to get people to opt in? There's a lot that goes into it, right? But anyway, um, once they're in, though, right, the next thing is you need to automate the follow-up. So the first thing was creating the landing page, opt-in, connecting that to the valuable free offer, your lead magnet, and then automating that follow-up. So setting up an automated email and text sequence that goes along with that inside High Level to really nurture those leads. Like I said, to create that know, like, and trust factor so that they're ready and they're primed before they get on a call with you. Saves so much time. So use triggers basically to send reminders. Triggers are like, the lead does something and that triggers it to send something. So let's say they book a call it'll trigger it to send reminders, and you can time them, or send reminders, and offer value so that the leads just don't forget about you, right? And show up. The third thing that you need to set up is, booking the calls without hassle. Like, how do you set that up? So you want to integrate your calendar, right? Integrate your calendar, so that leads can book strategy calls instantly. And High Level integrates perfectly with Gmail. Like, it's just easy. Or not Gmail, Google, I should say. Google Calendars. Gmail's the email, but anyway, Google Calendar, it's free, connects perfectly with High Level as well. But then you got Calendly and all that. You don't really need it if you've got that. I used to use Schedule Once Hub. Got rid of that once I got High Level. And then the next thing, you want to set up the once they've booked those calls instantly, right, that they automatically get confirmation emails and reminders, which reduces the no-shows. The fourth thing that you need to set up is then converting those leads into paying clients, right? So setting up the sales pipeline in High Level to track those leads from first contact to sale, automate follow-ups based on lead behavior. So if they've opened an email or if they haven't, right? Maybe they opened the email, but they didn't book. You want to send another reminder, or maybe you want them to watch a video and they didn't watch it. Send another reminder, and it can let you know too that they haven't done it, right? If you want them to do something before they get on the call to, hit the ground running, you can set it up. So again, the trigger, if they've watched it, it'll say they've watched it. If they haven't watched it, it'll say they haven't watched it. So you can remind them, hey, you got to watch this before our call, type of thing, right? Otherwise it can waste a lot of time. So that can be automated as well. And then another thing to set up is delivering your services with ease. So automating your client onboarding with a welcome email sequence and intake forms and contracts and all that stuff can be done through High Level. So you can use the membership feature that it has to create and deliver courses or training so you don't have to do it face to face, repeating over and over again. Can save a lot of time and or things that you want them to do, and forms to fill out and stuff like that, so you can gather information that you need from each client. All that stuff can be automated easily. So let's move on to the next thing, which was that I wanted to talk to you about in the video, which is the hidden mistake that is killing your productivity. So many entrepreneurs think that, again, they're saving money by doing everything manually. But the reality is you're losing money every single day that you don't have automation in place. So imagine, like, every hour that you spend chasing leads or sending emails or following up manually, that's an hour that you could be using to close sales, right? You could be using that time to be actually talking to people and enrolling them into what you have to offer, or serving your clients at a premium level, having that free time to really go deep with them to get that result that they want and that you promised and that they're looking for, right? So time is money. And man, we live in an abundant society. Like, you can make money anywhere. You can always make more money. Time is something that you can never make more of. Time is something you can never get back. Once it's gone, it's gone. It's not infinite. Money's infinite. Time is not. So if you're spending it on low value tasks, then your business will always feel like this uphill battle. It'll be like pushing that car up the hill versus using the engine to just get up there, right? Smart entrepreneurs automate everything they possibly can, that they don't need to be doing themselves, so that they can focus on the high impact activities, right? So for me and my clients, the highest of the highest priority of anything is being on a call. Being on a call. If you're not on a call, you need to be doing stuff to get calls booked. If you're not getting calls booked, you know, then whatever. If you are getting consistent calls booked and you're on calls consistently, the next valuable task is serving your clients, getting them the results, right? So in between. So if you've got your system set up where you're going to be getting, 5 calls booked in the next, couple days and another 5 the next day or whatever, maybe not 5 a day. It's kind of a lot. I mean, you could. Depends if you have a team or not. I don't want to be doing 5 calls a day, but I'm good to do 2 or 3. It's fine. But I know I've got 2 calls tomorrow. I've got another 2 or 3 the next day. I got another 2 or 3, and I've got it booked out throughout the week. I know I've got calls coming in because my systems are set up properly to know that. So I know I've got calls. I'm not going to be focusing my energy on setting up systems to book calls because it's working already, right? If it's not working, if something's not working, then I'm focused on that. Sometimes things can happen where Facebook shuts you down or, you know, whatever. That's usually the one. Or like, oh, the iOS changes that happened, I don't know when it was, 3 years ago or something that affected 6 million advertisers, right? That affected calls. So we had to figure out a workaround around that. So we did, and then it was fine. Then we're back on calls and serving our clients and that's it. So if you're wondering how to take automation to that next level and actually use it to bring in high ticket clients consistently around what you're offering, I cover this in detail inside my free training. I got free training for you. So I show you the exact steps that my clients use to build predictable revenue streams without working 24/7. So if you're interested in looking at that, just click on the link in the description and you can watch it now if you want, or bring it up so it's ready to go after this. But if you're getting value from this too, don't forget, subscribe to this video, hit the notification bell. Like everybody says, it really helps the algorithm and helps me keep going. But yeah, hit that notification bell so that you never miss my latest strategies for business growth. Because it also, there's a formula to it, but there's a lot to that formula. And things do change in the industry. So I'm always talking about latest and greatest things that are affecting businesses. How do you scale and save time. Time and money freedom, right? And then if you're ready to automate your business and you're ready to start scaling effortlessly, then sign up. Sign up for my free training. The link is in the description, like I said, and spots are limited, but also you don't want to wait because the ones that take action are the ones that start getting clients quicker. So anyway, we've covered why automation is the secret to scaling without stress. We also covered the number one tool to automate your business, high level. And then we've gone through the step by step on how to set up an automated system for leads and sales and the hidden mistakes that might be holding you back. So now, as promised, let's get into that bonus strategy that one of my clients used. Well, she's just one. This is the strategy that we all use to make more money. But this specific one, she used it to add an extra 30,000 to her business in just 60 days without working harder. So I'm talking about my client, Jen. She's an expert at what she does. She's been in the health and wellness space for at least 26 years. Well, 26 years before she found me, like our first call, she said 26 years. But she was on this feast or famine cycle. Um, she'd get clients, a few clients here and there, and then nothing. A few clients here and there, and then nothing. I talk about 5 dysfunctional business models that keep you broke. That's one of them. And if you want to see that video, that's in my Facebook group. You can come and join. It's called the Business Growth Blueprint for High Ticket Entrepreneurs, I think. I don't know what it's called. Anyway, put in the comments if you want the link to my Facebook group, and I'll be happy to give that to you. But anyway, let's get back to Jen. After working together, I showed her this 5-step strategy to gain high ticket clients so she could have ultimately time and money freedom. I mean, that's what we like to have as business owners, right? We get into business so we can leave that 9 to 5 grind, have that flexibility, and ultimately have time and money freedom. So here's the steps. Okay. The first step to the strategy is what I call going from employee mindset to empire mindset. And if you've ever watched any of my videos before, you've probably heard of this, but it's basically in our society, we are taught to be workers. So I don't know how old you are, but for however many years old you are, you have been programmed, okay, by our society, by our television, by your teachers, your parents, their parents, their friends, your friends, their family. Everybody's been trained in our society to be a worker. So we're, go to school, get good grades, get a good job, work, 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 do, do, do. And then what ends up happening when somebody goes to create a business for themselves, they end up creating a job for themselves. So before I worked with Jen, she was in the same boat as all you guys that have never had a business before. If you feel like you're overwhelmed and like you're work, 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 do, 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 trading time for money all the time, maybe in scarcity mode, that's where she was. She was in worker slash scarcity mode and work, 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 do, 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 trading her time for money. And we only have so much time in the day. So she had this ceiling. She couldn't go past that. She was exhausted, she was overwhelmed, and she was in that feast or famine mode, right? So what we did to get her out of that mode, and I do this with all my clients because without this, nothing works, okay? What we do to get you out of that mode so that you can succeed is we take our clients into this whole new identity so that they can become unstoppable and start operating from strength and clarity and confidence. Start working on the business, not in the business, or not operating or getting stopped by any fear or scarcity. And this creeps in. This fear and scarcity starts creeping in if you don't have the clarity around how to set up the right systems to get the right people finding you, calling you, and paying you. If it goes on for too long, it starts creeping in like, is something wrong with me? Maybe my offer's not good enough. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe this isn't going to work. Like all this stuff starts creeping in, and it's not you, it's your business model. Okay. You just don't know what you don't know. It's up here in your blind spot. So if you feel like that's you, maybe comment, uh, worker or something. Worker in the comments, okay? And the reason why we do this, right? The reason why this is like the first step in the strategy is if people don't shift from that employee to empire mindset, if that doesn't change first or that doesn't get handled first, it doesn't matter what else they do, nothing will work because our business is like a mirror. We're always reflecting what we're thinking, what we're feeling, even if we think we're hiding it. You're not. You're coming from this. If you're in this scarcity mode, it starts to feel desperate. It shows up everywhere. It shows up in the copy. It shows up on the phone calls. It shows up in your messaging and your everywhere. It shows up everywhere. So nothing works unless this gets handled, and it's really hard um, to uncover what is keeping you stuck in that, to do it by yourself. And I've seen people try and get over it for years. I'll ask them like, how long have you been trying to figure this out? Well, it's been a few years. I'm like, it should really literally take weeks, like a couple weeks, and we should have you over it. Some cases are a little bit harder than others. I can think of one of my employees, one of my clients that had, I think it took her about 4 or 5 weeks, but typically 1 or 2 weeks, we get through it. I walk them through a whole bunch of exercises, and then it's just like, aha, light bulb moment, and it's gone. It's like riding a bike. One minute you don't know how, the next minute you do, and you can never forget it. So it's really cool. But anyway, that's why that's the first step in the strategy, because it's next to impossible to set up this solid foundation to scale from if you're operating from this belief system that our entire society has been programmed with our whole lives. Does that make sense? Put in the comments here if that makes sense to you. And then can you see, right? Can you see that if that doesn't shift, nothing else really matters? So the next step in this strategy then is how to connect and communicate effectively with your ideal audience. This is the next step that Jen and I worked on. Hey, Mad, what does that say? I can't see what it. If you want me to know your name and give you a shout out, then let me know your name and I'll give you a shout out. I can't see I don't have my glasses on. Mad Valley. I can't see what your username is, but welcome anyway. Okay. The next step in the strategy is on how to connect and communicate effectively with your ideal audience. Okay. Not anyone and everyone. Most of us don't have budgets like Pepsi and Coca-Cola to just blanket market the entire universe for brand awareness, right? You need to be able to effectively communicate with your ideal audience, the ones that are out there looking for you. They're ready to buy from you, but they just can't find you. Those are your ideal clients. So again, with Jen, they couldn't find her, right? She was posting with little to no response. The ones that were showing up were the wrong fit. So I showed her how to find the people who were actually going to buy from her. We figured out who her ideal prospects were and what ultimately resonated with them so that she could clearly communicate her value. And the way we do this, the way I do this with all my clients is I bring them through what I call my proprietary niche encoding system. So we go so deep into the psychology to uncover exact words to use that will resonate deeply to get them to take action to ultimately buy. Like, let me ask you, do you think that if you were clear on how to do that, it would happen? If you knew how to effectively communicate with those right people, they're ready to buy, you had the right systems in place, you knew what words would resonate to get them to take action to buy, do you think they would? Again, give me a yes. Give me a yes or a no. I guess you could put a no if you don't think so. But anyway, let me know if you have any questions about that specifically in the comments here. Cool. The next step in the strategy is then having that irresistible offer so that people not only understand the value in it, but are also willing to pay a premium for it. So, this is where we determine what price her ideal clients would also be eager to pay for that irresistible offer and how to communicate it so that they think it's a bargain. So, most people don't have any rhyme or reason on how they price their product or service. Awesome. Um, it's usually based on trading time for money. What I see a lot of people do is they look around at the competition and they might price it a little bit lower than the competition, hoping that they'll gain that clients, but it doesn't work that way. What happens is, well, with my clients, what I show them how to do is how to determine the price based on the result that they get for their clients. How much would their ideal client be willing to pay for that result? So again, there's a lot that goes into it, but when people don't price it that way, when they're just kind of calculating how much time would it take me to get them the result? Okay, based on that time, if I charge $100 an hour and then it takes me, I don't know, 20 hours, okay, I'll charge $2,000, right? It's just kind of pulling pieces out of thin air, kind of basing it on that. That goes back to that employee mindset, right? You're trading time for money instead of the other way. But again, you don't know what you don't know. So then there's no knowing. There's no confidence behind the price when you deliver it to the prospect, when you deliver it to that person. But there's a specific way to determine the price, and that's based on data that we take about 3 weeks to uncover. So I walk my clients through different exercises to determine what price would that actually be. So these aren't just bits and pieces pulled out of thin air. There's a method to figuring it out step by step, like a recipe. So again, let me ask you, if you had an irresistible offer based on, the value that you can deliver, it's priced based on data that your ideal client would be eager to pay for that result, and you knew how to communicate it effectively to to get them to think that the price is a bargain, right? And I'm not talking about low prices here. I'm talking about typically between $3,000 and $12,000 is what my clients typically price their expertise for. Do you think that if you had clarity around how to do that, that you could reach your income goals? Probably. So anyway, that's that. Those are the what are we on? 3. I think those are the three steps out of the 5. So once we've got those steps of the strategy in place, the next thing, the most important thing for business owners to do, because typically the most important thing for that they want is their freedom, right? Time and money freedom, that flexibility in their schedule. So the next thing in the strategy is to automate your marketing and your business systems, not one or the other. You got to automate the marketing part aspect of it to get the right people finding you, calling you, and paying you. But then how do you deliver it without taking up all your time too, right? There's a lot of things that can be automated. Not everything can be automated, but a lot can, so it saves a lot of time. And most people just aren't clear on how to set up these systems. How do you set up a pipeline or a funnel, right? How do you set up that funnel to lead strangers into paying clients? How do you create a valuable free offer that does a lot of the heavy lifting, right? It's not just I mean, you could offer a checklist or you could offer a quiz or something like that, but what you really want to do is create a free, valuable offer that offers value. It weeds out people you wouldn't want on your list, brings in other people. So, based on what we uncover with my clients, right? We uncover these things and we create a valuable free offer and we implement what I call my Boost You formula. And what that does is it positions my clients as the go to against the competition. It gets the right people on their list and it frees up their time. And not only does it allow my clients to separate themselves from the competition, but also because of that positioning, it helps to increase their pricing, which means less work to get to their goals, more time in the evenings with their families, right? And once it's set up and automated, again, it takes a bit to do it. It's not easy, but once it's all done, right? It takes us about 8 weeks to put it all together, 8 to 12 weeks typically. But once it's all set up and automated, there's very little time that needs to be dedicated to it. So then again, spend time on self-care to be your best self so you can serve your clients, right? And it's nothing really because, well, we set it all up basically for our clients, so it saves months of aggravations because it goes back to that tech thing. Um and it's just amazing, right? So anyway, the automation is really great. So mad I can't see what he says. Mad Villainy, maybe? I'm setting up systems over the past few weeks. The funnel is what I'm working on now. Awesome. That's great. So very cool. Very cool. How long, I'm curious now, how long has it taken you so far? How long you've been working on all these automations? I'm curious. Um, and let's go into the fifth step now. The fifth step of the strategy then is how do you enroll those clients, right? How did Jen start enrolling those clients into her offer when she had all those other things going on at a premium rate, right? Because she went from charging like, I think it was $100 an hour or something. And with that ceiling, she could only take on so many clients because she didn't have a lot of stuff automated. So we increased her price to, I think it was three or 4,000. I think it was 4,000 she was charging again for the result that she was getting them. And so that's that premium rate. But she was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go she was having a hard time enrolling them at $100 an hour. How's she going to enroll them at 4,000? Right. So there's a way to do it. And what we use is our what I call increase sales syntax and script framework. There's a framework to it. Very strategic because it's very different getting someone to pay a higher price than a lower price. Wouldn't you agree? So most people are struggling. They're struggling to get them to pay even the lower price. They're discounting themselves. They're like trying to, get people any way they can because they just don't know exactly what to say once they've got them on the phone to easily guide them into that sale. You know what I mean? And the reason why these steps of the strategy are so important is because anyone, right? Anybody who wants time and money freedom in their business, those are the steps, right? The main steps that need to be in place, the main things that need to be in place so that they can have time and money freedom. Otherwise, it's just creating that job for themselves. It's just work, 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 do, do, do. And most of my clients like to, that's what they want to see. They want that sooner rather than later because otherwise they just keep getting the same results. Make sense? So remember, automation is the difference between struggling and thriving. The choice is yours. Will you keep doing things the hard way or will you build a business that works for you? So on the next video, I'm going to be talking about the number one strategy to attract high ticket clients. Thanks for joining me here on the live. If you want to check that video out when this is on the replay, you can check it out right here. So thanks for coming and have a great day.